Expect rain to be heavy at times, especially this evening, and then once again late tonight, so be prepared for that. 40% chance of rain.
Hello, welcome to Donington Park, welcome to a beautiful British summer's day, and welcome to Golf GTI Clubsport S Mini JCW Challenge. Now the Golf you're probably familiar with already. There's that 7:49 Nürburgring time that stands out, 310 horsepower, 2 seats, and Michelin Cup 2 tyres, which contribute probably quite a lot to that lap time. It's very serious as Golfs go, it should be a lot of fun. The Mini, you see here, borrows a lot from the Challenge race car, so it's got Mintex brake pads, it's got a fancy exhaust, it's also got Nitron adjustable dampers, which is fairly remarkable in the Mini. It also uses the Cup 2 tyres, which could be interesting on a day like today, but they both stack up pretty well on numbers, they're both quite close, so let's see which is most fun.
Thunderstorms and also little disturbances rumbling along this thing will bring us a chance for rain. Expect rain to be heavy at times, especially this evening, and then once again late tonight, so be prepared for that.
So we all know the Golf GTI Clubsport S dream. It's Nürburgring, it's dry, it's hot, you're jumping over curbs, you're chasing supercars, you're doing that sort of thing. Today is not the dream. It is most definitely not the dream. It's Donington, it's very wet, it's stopped raining a bit, but it's unbelievably slippery out here, so I apologise if this is not 11 tenths and tyres squealing. However, this Golf that people will keep on talking about is mega, actually. It's really good. It's a properly sorted little track car. Golf GTIs don't have the best reputation with enthusiasts, do they? You know, they are slightly dull cars, bought by slightly dull people to do slightly dull things with. This isn't. Where to start? Engine is carried over from the standard car. We're now up to 310 horsepower, which is a lot, especially given what this weighs. It's 1360 with a driver, which is, you know, competitive when you bear in mind that a Focus RS is 1600 with a driver, so that's a good start. Certainly feels 310 horsepower strong. Not an exceptional engine, I don't think it ever is in any installation. Keen enough, good. Willing to rev as well, which is nice. You're on a track, you can hold a gear and you don't feel like you are sacrificing anything, which is good. Hopefully you're getting a bit of the noise as well. Obviously we've got no rear seats, sounds a bit better. We've got new exhaust, you get a few pops and bangs in it. It adds some character, which is good. Gearbox is manual and manual only. It's carried over directly from the standard car and it's fine, it's very good. I'd perhaps want a bit more weight to it, but the key improvements I hear are chassis wise. You'll know it's been developed on the Nürburgring. You will have your own opinion on that. Even on a disgusting day like this, it's really confidence inspiring, which you want. Keener than a standard car. Turning's really, really nice. There's a few kind of camber and caster tweaks at the front, and it's really helped out. It's a lot more positive to turn in. There's a bit more weight to the steering as well, which helps your confidence. It's still not brimming with feel. I don't think a lot is, but you can be more accurate with it, which again, when the day is like this, that is good. And you've also got, I'm going to make a point of this, a lovely, lovely steering wheel. Well done, VW, because this is great. It's thin, it's Alcantara, it doesn't have a lot of buttons on it, it's mostly round. Like a normal Golf GTI, you've got your various driving modes. As you may already know, the individual mode for this is set up for the Nürburgring. We've got it in the individual mode at the moment, and it works pretty nicely around here, actually. It's, as VW tend to be at the moment, quite nicely damped. There's sufficient, you know, kind of flow in it, and it's not mega stiff so that you're being shaken offline. There's enough compliance in it to work with any lumps and bumps, which is good. Because Donington's smooth, it's not mega smooth, so that really helps. I'd love to tell you about the aero, to be honest, carried over from the regular Clubsport, but I can't. I just don't think we're going fast enough. What I can tell you about is Cup 2s in the wet. They are nowhere near as bad as you might expect, actually. There's some really, really good traction here. You can be heavy on the throttle coming out of corners, and yeah, it will spin up occasionally, but I don't think anywhere near as much as you might think. Into coppice here, you can hear it pushing. But that's me being a bit greedy. It's far better than you might think. Again, there's an inherent friendliness to this car, which you might mistake for being boring. It's not. It's just always on your side. Brakes on this car, obviously upgraded as well. They feel really nice. Typically VW stuff. Oh, come on. That's how slippery it is. Typically VW stuff can be a bit grabby and a bit snatchy at the top of the pedal. This is really nice actually. So just coming into, you can roll on fourth, third, and just, you know, meter it out really nicely. This car, like a lot of other VW Group hot hatches, has the VAQ limited slip diff aping front axle. Works really well here actually. The delay in response that you get with VAQ occasionally is massively minimised here. It feels really nice, very quick to respond, and actually doesn't feel like it loses out anything to a conventional mechanical limited slip diff. Do you know what, I really like this. And I don't like the word, it feels special. You know, it feels like people who care about driving have spent a lot of time setting this up. Just the way things respond, there's just, come on, there's just a bit more cohesion and flow to it than you will find in typical VW Group hot hatches, and that's really nice. And you know, you've got the missing seats, you've got a silly noise, it just feels a bit more exotic. If you're one of the 150 people in the UK with one of these, make sure you use it please, don't put it in a collection because it's brilliant fun. It's really good. It's well known we're not massive fans of the standard JCW on PH. It's a bit aloof, it's not really that much fun, which is a shame for a fast Mini because they got a reputation for it, haven't they? You know, Mini JCWs are good. I'm very pleased to report this one is a lot better. It has its issues, don't get me wrong, but a few key little tweaks have really improved it. What's most important? It's got a proper limited slip diff in the front now, which makes a big difference, and combined with Cup 2 tyres, same as on the VW, and a bit more camber on the front. You've got much more, oh hello, very sideways in his Civics. You can move out of the way? You've got a much more precise turning. It's similar with the Golf, you know, a few little tweaks on the front axle make quite a big difference. And though you've still not got great steering, it's mini steering, this isn't nice, you've got the wheels too big, there's not a lot coming back, but even allowing for that, oh God, it's slippery down here. Even allowing for that, you've got a lot more just eagerness to turn in, which is good. It feels more in keeping with what a Mini should be doing. Good point number two, we've got some derived from the race car, don't you know? Some Nitron R1R coilovers, I believe. They're Nitron of some description. They're adjustable. We've not played with them yet, but they give the car a load more control than the standard JCW. That again, it would just get a bit flustered when you push it, not really together, and all just not much fun. Again, it would lose its control, lose its composure. This doesn't. This feels really well connected and tied down. You can tell, you know, we're braking pretty hard into Redgate here. It doesn't pitch, it doesn't dive. It does a really lovely job. As in the VW, actually, its Cup 2s are faring really well. I was pretty hesitant earlier about taking these out on a wet track. Key differences over the Golf. Unsurprisingly, because it's a smaller car, it feels a smaller car. When you are making adjustments with the throttle and with the brakes, the response is a lot more instant. So there, it's already, obviously it's exaggerated by the conditions today, but you've got that kind of familiar Mini adjustability back, and he's showing off a little bit, but it's more amenable to your wishes than the standard car. You know, the standard car kind of falls into understeer and then doesn't really do a lot besides that, whereas this, you can tell even in these conditions and even in this environment of a controlled track day, just a lot more neutral, a lot more interesting in terms of handling balance. Engine is the standard 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo from the regular Cooper S, so we are still at 231 horsepower. Yes, we've got a nice loud exhaust, which we can't actually run because it is too loud for the track day. But I can tell you it makes lots of nice pops and crackles, which we found out until got told we couldn't use it. For me, I think the Golf engine is a bit more interesting. This one, even more than that, trades on kind of mid-range thrust and isn't all that willing to rev out. It's a bit of a shame. Some people will prefer the kind of, you know, accessible performance you get with more torque, lower down. I think in a hot hatch you want something that you want to rev. We're going now, we're going to get past this Ginetta, you know, that's 6,000 revs. It's feeling tight and it's running into a very soft limiter at 6.5, and it's just a bit disappointing in all honesty. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a weak link in the package. I would just say it's not perhaps as exciting and as interesting as the rest of the upgrades. It is quick, and it does not feel noticeably slower than the Golf around here, to be entirely honest with you. I have not mentioned the brakes yet. That is because I do not think this car is especially fresh. It's upgraded, it's got race car parts like the rest of it. You know, we've got the Nitron suspension derived from the race car, we've got Team Dynamics wheels like on the race car. We've got Mintex pads on the bigger optional JCW discs here, but to feel like someone's already had the best of them, they're getting quite grumbly and the performance is going off a bit. So I'm not going to cast any judgment on them because I don't think they're representative of what a car would actually be like. I guess the question is though as well, can you pay £32,000 for a Mini? I know it's limited edition, it is a lot of money. It'd be nice maybe if they could make a few more and charge less than 30 grand for it, because for me, the Golf's only a couple of grand more when you could buy one, obviously, and it just feels like a more, and I'm going to use the word again, a more special product. Right, so we're all done at Donington Park for today. Weather's cleared up, obviously now we've left the track, and we need to reach some conclusions on these two cars. They're both very good, excellent cars actually. Golf's a real surprise, even better than I thought it was going to be, and a nicer powertrain than the Mini. But the Mini's so exciting, so agile when you get on it. The Golf problem obviously is that you cannot buy one, which is tricky, and the Mini you can, but VW need to make more of these. If you've got one, enjoy it. I would say if you wanted to get a Mini JCW or thinking of one, do try and get a Challenge because it's much, much improved. But today, as it goes, the Golf is our winner.